everyone. So my name is Katie Hauer. I am a film student at Scottsdale Community College. I love movies, and I was really excited about this project because I was able to analyze one of my favorite movies, Short Term 12. I was really happy that was on the list. I love it. I think it's a great independent film. It's inspiring as a filmmaker, knowing that there are people out there making movies like this, and it's an attainable goal if you work hard. Um, anyways, the movie is about two young people, Mason and Grace, who run a foster care facility where young foster children live. It uncovers a personal story close to them as well, but it really goes through the children that live there and how they are abused, and there's just a lot of deep connections, and it really just uncovers the abuse that goes on in foster um, children's lives outside of foster care. So the whole movie basically begins with Grace and Mason's characters being revealed to us as you watch them walk through the house and establish their relationship with the children that they look after on a daily basis. Um, you come to find out that Nathan and Grace are in a relationship and that they were both foster children themselves, which adds a very relatable dynamic to the story, which makes a lot of sense when you see that how close they are with the children and how well they are to how able they are to get along with the kids. A lot of the I think the I did some research on the director, and um, he worked in a foster home with underprivileged kids, so I believe that he wrote this movie and directed it fully aware of the experience, having been a part of something like this. So he was inspired by what um, how he worked on a daily basis. So a lot of the themes are about, to me, what I experienced from it was that it's about underprivileged kids being redeemed from their being redeemed from being underprivileged. So there's a there's a light at the end of the tunnel. All these characters, like Marcus, for instance, who you know came from the ghetto where his mom made him um, sell crack, which he explained in one of his raps. I mean, he ends up leaving the foster home and ends up going out and getting a job and dating the girl he always wanted to date, as they told that story in it. Jade ends up breaking down, the little girl, and ends up breaking down and telling the truth about her dad abusing her, and ends up um, forming a closer bond with Grace, which I'll get into in a minute. Uh, you know, um, Grace, finding out that she's pregnant and then finding out that her dad is getting out of prison. Her dad is somebody that used to rape her, abuse her, got her pregnant, went to prison for it, and he's getting out of prison in 2 weeks. She goes through a huge trial and tribulation as to whether or not she wants to keep the baby. So I think there's a lot of conflict in these themes, showing how these young people are almost have some crosses to bear in their lives, all of them, but the one common theme is that they all overcome them, so I see a lot of redemption too, and every single character, although they have different stories and different situations that happen to them, they all have a common bond in that sense, which I really find emotional and inspiring about the film, and I have no experience with foster care or children whatsoever, but it's inspiring to make me kind of want to go maybe look into that. Um, is this a feminist film? Honestly, I don't like that question. At first, I would say no right off the bat, but after kind of analyzing it a little bit more, I could see how it could be. I I I would say no, because both of the men go through a lot of stuff too, and it's not really, oh, women are more powerful than men, oh, men are more powerful than women. So that's why I would say no, because it's pretty even keel on that regard. In comparison to gender, everybody's kind of on an equal wavelength. Um, in another sense, I could say, it passed the Bechdel effect. So maybe, you know, two women having a conversation that doesn't, that isn't about a man necessarily, even though it involved a man, it's more about their, emotional tribulations that they connect on. Um, what is feminism? It's broad, but for the most part, I'm going to say no. This isn't a feminist film because it just didn't feel that way to me at all. You know, um, I think the director is great. I think that this entire movie is great. I love movies that make you feel, and this movie really makes you feel. It shows a real life scenario of situations that are happening in the world today, and it puts it into perspective for you, and it tells a beautiful story. So, um, I really love this piece. I don't necessarily think it's feminist, although I could see how people could perceive it as that. Just all depends on the perception of the eye. Um, yeah, so I really have enjoyed taking this class. I love watching movies for homework, and I love analyzing them and studying them. So thank you, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful night. See you next time.